Did you know that a single set of deer antlers can grow up to an inch a day and fetch hundreds, even thousands of dollars once harvested? Or that velvet antler, long prized in traditional medicine, is worth more per kilo than some cuts of beef? Welcome to the fascinating world of modern deer farming, where antlers aren't just for show and venison isn't just a fancy menu item. From carefully timed antler harvests to the delicious processing of lean, iron-rich venison, this is farming like you've never seen before. Let's dive in. Did you know deer are actually superstars of the wild? Not only can they jump up to 10 feet high and sprint at 30 miles per hour, but male deer grow an entirely new set of antlers every year, and those antlers are the fastest-growing tissue in the animal kingdom. Pretty wild, right? With over 40 different species, ranging from the tiny poodoo, as small as a house cat, to the giant moose, deer are more diverse than most people realize. Oh, and fun fact: only male deer grow antlers, except for caribou where the ladies rock them too. They're also incredible athletes. But here's a sobering thought for our friends in the US. Deer actually cause more human deaths than sharks. But wait, there's more. While deer are typically herbivores, meticulously picking out high-protein plants, some species can be occasionally carnivorous. Yes, you heard that right. Nature definitely has a way of keeping things interesting. Deer farming might sound like something out of a fairy tale, but it's actually a booming business, especially in countries like New Zealand, China, South Korea, and parts of Russia. These places are leading the way in raising deer, not just for their lean, tasty venison, but also for the highly prized velvet antlers, which are used in traditional medicine and supplements. And when it comes to velvet production, red deer is the superstars of the velvet world. This breed is known for producing thick, fast-growing antlers that can be harvested yearly. Deer farms are usually set up in areas with gentle rolling hills, open pastures, or lightly wooded landscapes, basically. Places that mimic a deer's natural habitat and give them plenty of space to roam, graze, and just do their deer thing. The most common farming model is the free-range or semi-intensive system, where deer are kept in large fenced paddocks with access to natural vegetation, supplemented with hay, grains, or mineral blocks when needed. Most of the time, deer are free to roam and graze in large fenced paddocks, munching on grass, leaves, and shrubs, just like they would in the wild. But when farmers want to give their antlers that extra boost, they'll step in with supplemental feeding. That's when you'll see troughs filled with nutrient-rich pellets, grains, or mineral mixes, basically. A buffet of essentials like calcium, phosphorus, and protein to support strong and healthy antler growth. Deer are truly nature's graceful survivalists. Known for their gentle and alert personalities, deer are naturally skittish and cautious, which helps them stay safe in the wild. But what really makes deer fascinating is how well they adapt to their environment. They're great at adapting whether in forests, mountains, or on farms. Their coats even change with the seasons to help them blend in. While they stay cautious around humans, they can adjust well to farm life when treated with care. Timing the antler harvest is a real art in deer farming, and farmers take it seriously. Deer antlers grow super fast sometimes, over an inch a day, and within just 2 months, they can go from tiny nubs to full-grown crowns. If you wait too long, those soft, velvet-covered antlers start to harden and calcify. Once that happens, they lose their medicinal value and become much less valuable. That's why farmers regularly check the antlers' shape, size, and texture, looking for that perfect window, usually between day 55 and 65 of growth. When it's antler harvesting time, the selected deer are gently separated into a designated area. Each deer is guided into a special antler removal stall that is designed with padded bars and soft restraints to keep the deer still and safe. Before the antlers are removed, a local anesthetic is applied to numb the area. This ensures the deer feels minimal discomfort. Then, using a sterilized saw, trained staff make a quick and accurate cut just above the base of the antler. Right after the cut, a special antiseptic powder, often made from blood-clotting agents like ferric sulfate or similar compounds, is applied to the exposed surface. This helps stop any bleeding quickly and protects against infection. Right after the successful harvest, the freshly cut velvet antler is immediately brought in for its vital next step: weighing. This isn't just for record keeping. It's crucial for determining its market value and ensuring fair compensation, as heavier, denser antlers usually fetch a higher price. Then comes the preservation process. The antlers are either gently boiled or low-temperature dried, depending on the farm's preferred method, to lock in quality and stop any spoilage. Once cured, they're carefully wrapped in breathable bandages or cloth and stored in large, chilled storage rooms right on the farm. You'll often see them neatly hung or stacked, ready for grading, selling, or further processing into velvet products. In the past, antler removal has sometimes been done inhumanely and excessively. In some cases, deer were restrained harshly, and their antlers were cut off without proper sedation or care, which understandably caused stress and suffering. Overharvesting was also an issue, where deer were forced to grow antlers repeatedly. However, awareness around ethical deer farming has grown significantly. Today, in many countries, antler removal is highly regulated, requiring trained professionals and often veterinary supervision. When done correctly, it's a quick and painless procedure, usually done under mild sedation to minimize stress. Modern deer farms aim to strike a balance between production and compassion. After the antlers are harvested, each one gets tagged with important info like the date, farm, and deer ID to ensure traceability. Then they're carefully loaded onto trucks and transported to processing facilities. At the factory, the tags are double-checked and matched with records before the antlers move into production. Deer antlers, especially in their velvet stage, are highly prized in traditional medicine and are often used to make deer antler wine or ground into powder for herbal remedies. They're believed to boost energy, enhance vitality, improve blood circulation, and support joint health. In some cultures, they're also considered a symbol of strength and longevity. The price of deer antler products can vary widely depending on the type and quality, but they're definitely not cheap. For example, premium-grade velvet antler can sell for anywhere between $100 to $300 per pound when dried. In some cases, particularly rare or well-processed antlers can even fetch prices of $500 or more per pound. Deer are typically processed for meat when they reach optimal size and maturity, usually around 1 to 2 years old depending on the breed and farm goals. Venison, as it's called, is a bit of a gourmet treat. The meat has a deep red color, a lean, tender texture, and a rich, slightly gamey flavor that foodies love. It's also incredibly nutritious, packed with protein, low in fat, and full of iron, B vitamins, and essential minerals. Compared to beef, deer meat is a cleaner, leaner option, which makes it popular among health-conscious eaters and fancy restaurants alike. It's often grilled as steaks, slow-cooked in hearty stews, or roasted for a tender, flavorful centerpiece. In many places, it's also made into sausages, meatballs, jerky, or even gourmet burgers. So, After watching this video, would you be curious to try deer velvet or venison for yourself? Every time you sip orange juice, you're tasting a global journey. That one bottle may come from an orange harvested just 24 hours earlier, scanned by machines that process 1 million fruits an hour, and packed with enough vitamin C to boost your day in a single gulp. Let's follow this vibrant fruit from grove to glass and see the magic behind its sweetness. Did you know oranges are one of the most consumed fruits in the world? Each year, the world produces over 75 million tons of oranges. That's heavier than all the elephants on Earth combined. And a medium orange, 130 g, packs around 70–90 milligrams of vitamin C, enough to boost your immunity for the whole day. Not all oranges are orange. In warm climates, ripe oranges can stay green. Some are even dyed to meet shopper expectations. Did you know oranges are grown on almost every continent where the sun shines bright? From the vast orchards of Brazil, the world's top orange producer, to sunny groves in the US, Spain, and even Egypt. Orange farming spans over 3 million hectares worldwide. In harvesting seasons, some modern farms use specialized picking machines. These machines can move row by row through massive orchards, collecting up to 20 tons of oranges per day. That's roughly 150,000 oranges, carefully gathered with minimal waste. But not everything is automated. In many regions, oranges are still picked by hand. Skilled workers carefully snip each fruit from the branch. One person can hand pick up to 1,500 oranges in a single day. After leaving the orchards, the oranges arrive at the factory in giant truckloads, often carrying 20 to 25 tons of fruit at a time. So, what happens after the oranges leave the orchard? Well, this is where the magic continues inside the orange processing plant. First, they go through massive water channels, where thousands of oranges are rinsed at once, removing dirt, leaves, and dust from the field. Next, powerful air blowers dry the oranges. These machines spin and blow warm air, drying hundreds of oranges per minute. Next, fast-moving conveyors carry the fruit, while experienced workers inspect them for flaws the machines might miss. Their sharp eyes can check thousands of oranges per shift. But here's where it gets mind-blowing. The fruit enters the high-tech scan zone. Each orange passes under multi-angle cameras and infrared sensors. In milliseconds, the system scans for color, size, shape, weight, and even subtle skin defects invisible to the human eye. Some advanced factories can scan and sort up to 300 oranges per second. That's more than 1 million oranges per hour. The fruit is automatically sorted into different lanes: small, medium, large, or sent for juicing if it doesn't meet visual standards. Once sorted, it's time to pack. Then comes packing. Robotic arms gently place the best oranges into cartons, rotating each fruit for the perfect fit. They align them like jewels, smooth, symmetrical, spotless. Oranges are also packed in bright, breathable mesh bags, the kind you've probably grabbed at the grocery store without a second thought. They're practical, easy to carry, and perfect for everyday shoppers. But in places like Japan, where presentation is everything, premium oranges are still packed by hand. Workers delicately turn and position each orange into gift boxes one by one. Some luxury orange gift sets can sell for over $100 USD per box. Finally, the packed boxes are lifted and stacked by towering robotic cranes moving with high precision. Some of the high-tech warehouses can hold over 10,000 tons of fruit at once. That's equivalent to more than 100 million oranges, just waiting to travel the world. From there, they're shipped to markets in Japan, Germany, South Korea, Canada, and of course, the United States. Not all oranges make it to the box, some become delicious bottled juice instead. First, the oranges are juiced by industrial extractors capable of processing up to 20,000 oranges per hour. The peel, seeds, and pulp are separated, leaving only the golden, flavorful juice. Before bottling, the juice undergoes strict quality checks to ensure every batch is consistently fresh and delicious. Then, the real magic happens: automated bottling. Thousands of bottles, plastic or glass, are filled, sealed, and labeled in a flash. It's mesmerizing to watch. Here's a fun fact. In some high-speed factories, oranges are harvested, juiced, and bottled within just 24 hours. The result? Sweet, Slightly tangy juice like it was freshly squeezed right into your glass. Fresh, juicy, ready to brighten someone's day. So the next time you peel one open, remember it's not just a fruit. It's a journey of sunshine, science, and a little magic. Thanks for watching and see you next time. What if we told you there's a fish so ancient it swam with dinosaurs, so massive it can reach 15 feet long, and so bizarre it breathes air like you and me? Meet the Arapaima, the freshwater giant of the Amazon. In this video, we'll follow the Arapaima's journey from the murky waters of the Amazon through traditional and modern fishing methods to high-tech processing lines. You'll discover how this river monster, which can live up to 20 years, is now being farmed, sold, and why conservationists are racing to protect it from overfishing. This is the untold story of one of the world's most mind-blowing fish. Meet the Arapaima, one of the Amazon's most jaw-dropping residents. This prehistoric-looking giant is one of the largest freshwater fish in the world. They can grow up to 15 feet long and weigh up to 440 pounds. Did you know that it breathes air? Yep. Unlike most fish, the Arapaima gills are so small that it takes in air using a modified swim bladder that opens into the fish's mouth and acts as a lung. This means they swallow air from the surface and then use it to absorb oxygen, so it can hang out in oxygen-poor waters or even survive up to 24 hours out of water. With its coppery green head, black body, red tail, and vacuum-powered gulper feeding strategy, this fish doesn't just look cool, it is cool. It's a top predator that dines on fish, insects, fruit, and sometimes even snatches birds or monkeys from trees. Oh, and when it comes to parenting, Arapaimas take it to the next level. The dads actually carry the babies in their mouths for protection until the fish get a bit older. Such devoted fishy parents. Believe it or not, there are places around the world where people are actually farming these freshwater giants. Yes, real-life Arapaima farms. If you're curious about how people raise these massive, drop a comment and let us know. Wild Arapaima fishing is a dramatic, high-stakes game, and it's all because of one unique trait. Arapaimas have to surface to breathe air. That's right, these river monsters can't just hide in the depths forever. Traditional fishers take advantage of this by waiting patiently with harpoons in hand. When an Arapaima comes up for air, it's struck with a barbed harpoon and then beaten with a stick to finish the job. But there's also a different method that's more team-based and less dramatic, using large nets. Fishers spot Arapaimas coming up for air, then work together to surround the fish with massive nets. Once trapped, the fish are carefully hauled towards smaller boats. It's still tough work after all. After the arapaima are caught, the small fishing boats don't head straight home, they all make their way to a central gathering point, kind of like a floating market for giant fish. Here, the freshly caught arapaimas are sold to large-scale buyers who are ready to take things to the next level. From there, the fish are sent straight to the processing facility, where the real work begins. First, they're gutted and thoroughly cleaned. Then, each fish is weighed and tagged with detailed information: size, weight, catch location, everything you'd need to trace it back. And then, it's go time. For local buyers, the fish are sold fresh. We're talking still glassy eyes, fresh from the water level freshness. But for orders coming from farther away, the fish are either quick frozen or packed under heavy ice right on larger transport boats to keep them pristine all the way to their final destination. The mighty arapaima isn't just a fish in parts of South America, it's practically a multi-purpose toolkit. Local communities have found all sorts of traditional uses for this freshwater giant. Its bony tongue, for instance, is believed to have medicinal properties. Even its massive, armor-like scales don't go to waste, they're often used as natural nail file. Once the frozen arapaima reach the processing plant, the real work begins. These giants are first completely thawed to ensure an even, safe handling process. After defrosting, each fish goes through a thorough quality check. Every detail is inspected, from the condition of the flesh to the tags and data attached to it. Only when everything checks out are the fish moved on to the next stage. Skilled workers carefully cut them down into large meat portions, preparing the hefty fillets for markets near and far. With a fish this big, every slice counts. After that, the large slabs of arapaima meat are handed over to skilled workers for filleting. Luckily, this fish has very few bones, which makes the job much easier and faster. The fillets are then thoroughly rinsed, neatly trimmed into smaller portions, and carefully weighed and counted. Once everything is just right, the portions are packed, vacuum sealed, and ready for the next step, either hitting the local market or getting shipped out to distant destinations. Clean, efficient, and nothing goes to waste. Arapaima is a true culinary treasure in the Amazon region, often called the cod of the Amazon, and for good reason. Its meat is boneless, tender, and super versatile. Locals traditionally salt and dry the meat, rolling it up into cigar-shaped bundles that can be tied and stored for long periods without spoiling, a smart method in areas without much refrigeration. One fish can feed a whole family or even a small village. Besides drying and salting, arapaima can be cooked in all kinds of delicious ways. Because its meat is firm, boneless, and mild in flavor, it's incredibly versatile. Some people stew it with local herbs and vegetables for a hearty meal, or pan-fry slices until golden and crispy on the outside. In more modern kitchens, arapaima is also used for making juicy fish burgers, flavorful ceviche, or even gourmet sashimi-style dishes. However, because arapaima is considered a rare and highly prized delicacy, it has unfortunately been overfished in many parts of the Amazon. To protect this iconic species, several fishing restrictions have been introduced, including seasonal bans and size limits. In response, conservation groups have stepped in to raise awareness among local communities and implement research programs. These efforts include tagging wild arapaima with tracking chips to study their movement and behavior, as well as developing sustainable breeding projects to help boost their numbers.